your friends and family who can't make it to this call but have access to YouTube on the screens at home. So guys, thank you for making time for being on this call. I really do appreciate your time that you've taken off. Welcome to an awesome Monday. A lot has happened in the weekend, especially with this thing called Bitcoin. So what I want to do is I'm just going to share this link for you on the there you go, copy. So guys, there's a link at the bottom on the chat, and you can share this, right? Okay, let's go. So thank you for making time for being on this call. As I said, my name is Shane, and I'm going to be keeping you company for the next half an hour or so. Depends on the question we have. So what do we want to accomplish on the call tonight? First of all, if you're brand new on this call and you have no idea why you're here, if somebody sent you the link and said, go on this call, we got some technology to show you, I want you to type in the number 1 on the chat and type in the area you're logging in from if you have no clue. The reason I want to do that is because I want to know exactly where you guys from, and more importantly, get your opinion of this thing called Bitcoin. So we got Keegan from Johannesburg. Guys, keep it coming in your chat. For those of you new to Zoom, we have a at the bottom of your screen, you'll see chat, or you click more and you'll have access to the chat. So we got Rennie from Johannesburg, Mr. Botha from Cape Town. Okay, cool, guys, keep it coming. So this is what I want to actually get through at the end of this call, right? This is what I want to show you. What I'm going to show you on this call is how we're going to take your mobile phone. For those of you who have access to a mobile phone that have WhatsApp or Facebook, that means it's a smartphone. Okay, if you have a smartphone, what I want to show you is how we're going to take the smartphone and we're going to connect it to a device like this called a booster, which is sitting in a data mine somewhere around the world. There's 7 of them, right? It's sitting somewhere around the world. In this case, in our case, it's in Phuket. Okay, so I'm going to show you, let me recap. I'm going to show you how to connect your phone to a device that is linked to a data center that pays you in Bitcoin every day. So this is how the call is going to go. I'm just going to give you some ground rules. By the way, welcome Wendy from the UAE. Great to have you. We got Mesh from PE as well. Welcome, Mr. Bota from Cape Town. So this is how we're going to do this. Very, very simple. On this call, I'm going to give you factual information. I'm going to try not so much to use the PowerPoint because I want to go directly on YouTube and I want to show you and explain to you exactly what we're doing. Okay. Thereafter, once I'm done, we will give you a chance for the Q&A for you to ask me questions. Now, this call is for somebody who's looking at this and saying, you know what, Shane, I need a plan B for 2025. What can I do as a side hustle? When I say side hustle, while you're at work 9 to 5, you have your phone working in the background for you. Now, there is no recruiting, there is no selling, and there is no monthly fees. Okay, the reason I'm telling this is because I want you to rest your mind at ease and pay attention to the information, right? So if you're on this call that loves your job and you enjoy working, and you don't like being on Zoom calls like this, you don't like talking to people, you're a very private person, then this is for you. Once we're done with that part, then I'm going to talk to the other guys saying, Shane, I like the idea of these rentals, and I would like to look at this as a business opportunity. Can I stick around? So I'll go to that part. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Shane. I'm from South Africa, Durban, and I've been in the blockchain space now for the last 12 years. I'm heavily involved in smart contracts, which I love working with, blockchains, layer 1, layer 2 blockchain, and I like looking at new technology. Now, I was one of the first people in Africa to actually buy this car with Bitcoin. And I know some of you say, but Shane, what's so good about that? Well, imagine you're going to buy a car and you're not using cash, you're not using your bond, you're not taking a loan or a finance, and more importantly, you're not going to the banking system. And the reason why I did that is because a lot of people in Africa, when they look at Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, they have this notion to think, you know what, it's just like pie in the sky money. So the reason I did that was basically to show people in Africa that it's tangible. I got involved in the blockchain space, in the Bitcoin space, when I was in London and I met Robert T. Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and also Richard Branson as well. These guys were talking about blockchain back then. And then, over the last couple of years, it's been very, very difficult for me. I'll tell you why. Because banking systems in South Africa said, stay away from crypto. The media said stay away from crypto. And some of your broke uncles and neighbors who knew nothing about the spot say stay away from crypto. But I kept on pushing on. Why? Because I follow the smart money, where the smart money is going. So at the end of this call, I'm going to give you some direction. I'm going to show you what we are doing. And you'll make a decision at the end of the call. Okay? So let's start. Thank you guys for welcome, Jonas from Ghana. Well, Jonas, welcome to the call. It's interesting, the video that I just showed for those of you who came in early, how big mining is in Africa. So let's start, guys. Let's teach you something about crypto that you probably didn't know, or you probably had no idea about. So when you're looking at the screen right now, this is called the coin market cap. Basically, what is this? It's a consolidation of all the cryptocurrencies around the world. Okay, some of you heard of a couple of them, you know, your Bitcoin and Ethereum. But guys, did you know there's 15.71 million different cryptos out there? Now, if you're shocked right now, the icon in the bottom of the screen, let's make this interactive. Give me that face that shows you shocked, because a lot of people don't even know that we have so many cryptocurrencies, 15.71. The market cap is 3.31 trillion. And in the last 24 hours, we had $155 billion that came in. That's a 65% increase. Now, my question to you is, how many of you actually benefit from this 155 billion? If you're on this call and you tell me, Shane, you know what? I'm seeing these numbers and I feel disappointed that I haven't benefited from these numbers. And you know what? I'd like to know how. That's the reason for this call, guys. We're going to show you how to benefit from the 155. So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the #1 biggest cryptocurrency in the world in terms of market cap. As you can see, over $2 trillion sitting in Bitcoin, $2 trillion. So this is not a Mickey Mouse coin. This is absolutely huge. So let's click on this and let's give you more information. If I click on all-time high, this is almost 17 million%, guys. Look at this. If you can pronounce this number, then I can tell you that you're one of the good ones, because this number is crazy. Now, what I want you to understand is, if you look at this chart, Bitcoin got created in 2008. The white paper was written in 2009. The first Bitcoin came into circulation. But can you see this pump from here going up? This pump here. What's the reason for the pump? Now, guys, what I want to do is I'm going to show you videos. I'm going to give you education, but I'm giving you in bite size, like 30 seconds, 40 seconds. I'm not here to give you the whole complete picture. I'm here to intrigue you. I'm here to cast vision. I'm here to plant seeds in your head that you must question yourself. When I show you percentages like 17 million, you're not going to look at banking the same. You see, guys, we are conformed of the banking sector to think about 5% and 7%. With cryptocurrency, I want you to think beyond that, and please allow yourself to do that. Okay, so let's look at what's the reason for this huge spike. And as you can see, it's 82% bullish. That means it's going up. So let me show you what is the reason for that spike, because I think at the end of the day, a lot of you probably saying, Shane, I need to know what's happening in the back end. So for those of you who are not, watching the news, etc., maybe this is going to give you a bit of let's just say, I wouldn't say awakening, but
Il risultato migliore che abbiamo ottenuto con MetaBase probabilmente dà degli stabilimenti delle applicazioni tutte stabili, scalate.
Okay, so
buy a Bitcoin.
Check this out, right?
President Trump hosting the first ever White House crypto summit, vowing to stop the government's war on a valuable asset.
Last year, I promised to make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world and the crypto capital of the planet. And we're taking historic action to deliver on that promise, as you know, around the table. Yesterday, I signed an executive order officially creating our strategic Bitcoin reserve. And this will be a virtual Fort Knox for digital gold to be housed within the United States Treasury. That's a big thing.
So for those of you who don't know what he said there, before not our US dollar, but the US dollar was backed by gold, okay? And what Donald Trump is saying now, basically he wants to make USA the crypto capital of the world. And he wants to store Bitcoin as in the Fort Knox to say, well, our dollar will be backed by Bitcoin. So for those of you on the call, I don't know what's your perception of Bitcoin. I don't know what's your experience like Bitcoin. But I want you to understand that this is going mainstream. And during this call, I'm going to prove that to you. So some of you are probably thinking on this call, hey, Shane, you don't understand. We are from Africa, we from South Africa, and the Americans are advanced with all this blockchain, etc. But, in South Africa, how do we know how far blockchain and crypto is going? I'm sure some of you are thinking that, right? Because this is America, the West is advanced, etc. That's your perception. So I want to give you guys a rude awakening and play this video for you because a lot of people have no idea where crypto is right now in Africa. Check this out.
We are also going to focus, yes, on the fourth industrial revolution, get into blockchain in a most meaningful way, the Internet of Things, and citizens.
My name is Mpo Dagada, and I am the author of the best-selling book, Mr. Bitcoin. I'm a blockchain specialist and have spearheaded the blockchain technology revolution in South Africa and on the African continent.
Now I'm stopping this there because I want to have this conversation with you. You see, guys, if you watch this video, we have 5,000 plus minus 5,000 top ANC members. Our government is in that room. Okay. Let's show you the screen again. Pay attention to this. Can you see in the top right hand corner, it says ANC TV right here. ANC TV. Okay. Let's ask ourselves, why wasn't this shown on SABC 1, SABC 2, SABC 3, ETV, or whatever channel, DSTV? Why wasn't this shown on the news? For those of you who are new to this call, I want to tell you that this video is 7 years old. 7 years old. And what media has been telling you? What your friends have been telling you? You see, guys, I use this line. This plane is on the runway and we are about to take off. Not only America, the community, Africa as a whole is talking about Bitcoin. Okay. The reason I'm playing this video is because I want you to whatever a misconception you have about this, I don't blame you. Media plays a very important role. So how does this affect you on this call? Why I'm showing you all of this? It's very, very simple. You see, after Donald Trump made that announcement, the search word Bitcoin on Google shot up, even on YouTube. That's when my video came up when I bought the Mustang. And the gentleman, I'm not sure if he's in the room today, he's from the UK. Let's just see. He told me he's going to be, he might not make it on the call, but he is. We'll have a chat with him later on. So he reached out to me and he said to me, hey, Shane, you know what? We want to start mining in South Africa. And I'm like, no, you don't want to be mining in South Africa. We have a huge electricity problem in South Africa, right, guys? You guys know that about Eskom. And then he says, no, we are mining in Kenya and Ethiopia. So for those of you who came late to the room, this is what I showed the guys.
What if I told you I'm Smithy?
This is what I showed the guys earlier on, right? And I want to play this video for you. Okay, I'm just going to widen my screen here and bring it around 130 seconds. See, guys, nothing on this call is scripted, right? Everything here.
What if I told you this is a Bitcoin mine in East Africa?
Let's bring it around 137 seconds.
The river offers not only a lifeline, but a power source. Hydrobox, a company dedicated to bringing power where it's needed, has come up with the following solution in central Kenya. Here's how it works. They divert water into two streams that drive turbines to generate electricity. From the top left of the shot, the river is diverted, running along the canals I just walked past before flowing down the slope, underneath the solar panels and into the turbines that generate electricity. It then rejoins the main body of the river in the bottom left corner. But powering a small village with hydropower alone is costly, and without enough users, connection costs remain high. By placing Bitcoin...
Now, guys, I want you to look at the screen, right? This is the middle of Kenya. I'm going to show you how we're going to take your phone, connect it to a device that's linked to these devices. What you look in your screen are called Antminers. This is the thing that crunch the numbers and approve transactions on the blockchain and pays you in Bitcoin. Okay, I know there's a lot of technical jargon, but long story short, I want to connect your phone to these devices. Okay, so this is what's happening in Kenya, in Ethiopia, as well as Zambia. So how do we do that? How do we get you connected to those devices. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where I open up the PowerPoint and I want you to pay attention. This company called MinerX is a company that actually builds those machines, those Antminers S9s, okay? So what they want to do is they want to bring mining into Africa. And this is why you are invited on this call to show you how you can actually partake in that there. Now on this call, I'm not going to give you any financial advice. And I'm here to tell you cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, is very, very volatile. But it's on an upward trend because America right now says we want to do this and the rest of the world is catching on. So I think we are moving to a position where Bitcoin is going to start peaking in the next 2 to 3 months. So I'm going to cover all of that for you right now. As you can see, January 1st, 2023, one Bitcoin was around 16,500. Today, it's at 100 and I just showed you the numbers now, right? We're looking at around 104,000 today. 100, okay, guys, it just went up. It was 104,000 just now. It just pumped to 105,000. Okay, so as you can see, there's a huge jump, and this is called the banana curve right here, and that's what we want to get you in. So what do the gurus out there say that Bitcoin is going to be in the next couple of years? So Standard Chartered, this is a subsidiary of Standard Bank. In 2015, when Bitcoin was 50,000, they said it will be 120,000 in 2024. Well, we came close to 107,000. VanEck is also fund management, and they say a $350,000 Bitcoin is possible. But I'm following Cathie Woods for a very long time from ARK Investment. And guys, look at this. She says Bitcoin to reach 1.5 million US dollars by 2030. Okay. Now, this is your retirement that's sitting right there. So let's look at the other professionals in business. What do they say? You guys know Elon Musk is causing a stir right now. He says Bitcoin is on track for its all-time high. Robert Kiyosaki is bullish on Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, he owns 533,000 Bitcoins. And he says Bitcoin to go to $13 million. Now, this comes to ask, how many Bitcoin do you actually own at the moment? When this goes up, I mean, when I told people that Bitcoin is going to reach 1 million rand in South Africa, they laughed. Today it's almost, it's more than 2 million rand. Now the question is, the next milestone in the next 5 years, how much do you have, or how much you need to accumulate? So here are the corporates out there. Some of your banking, the banks that you bank with are already in Bitcoin, but yet they tell you to stay away from it. We got BlackRock, who has an asset value of over 9 trillion. They take care of that. Some of the companies are Unilever, Coca-Cola, Hathaway. I'm talking about Warren Buffett's companies. Then you got Fidelity, JP Morgan and Chase, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Invesco, Bank of America. By the way, 3 days ago, Warren Buffett just sold and he dumped all his banking stocks and he put it into crypto. So if Warren Buffett is doing that, we're in the right spot. As you can see, this is the activity in Bitcoin. The question is, why isn't your bank and your financial advisor asking you to do the same? You know why? Because it's government regulation for them not to tell you that. Why? Because if they make people aware of the price of Bitcoin, where it's going to go and how they're adopting it, if you and I go and buy Bitcoin, what's going to happen to the price of Bitcoin? It's going to go up. So will they be able to buy Bitcoin at a discount price? No. So what they do is they keep the people uneducated. They warn you. They send you warnings for you to stay away. The longer you stay away, the more they accumulate. So what am I doing? And what the person on the call is doing right now is educating you and showing you that this is what's happening in the back end. All what I'm saying can be verified. Go and research. This year is just pique your interest. Once I'm done with the call, you can actually go and do your necessary homework, and you'll come back to me and you'll say, Shane, you know what? You spot on. So how do we do that, guys? You see, the company MinerX has created this device. Okay, I know it looks like a USB, but believe you me, it has a lot more technology than that. There's a whole lot of RAM and AI in that. So what it does is it connects to these Antminers here, and it increases the power. For an example, if you guys have a vehicle, if you're driving right now, and if I tell you, hey, if you plug this into your cigarette lighter, let's just say that, I'm using it as an analogy, you're going to get more kilometers on your liter of fuel, right? And You don't need to buy this. You can just rent it out. And there's no monthly fees. Would you do it to increase the performance of your car? That's number one. Number two, you use less fuel. So this is what we are going to show you. We are going to show you how to rent this. Now, how does a profit distribution work? Very simple. As that work on those mines for you in the background, it mines Bitcoin. You as a customer would receive 60% of it. Okay? You will receive 60% of it. Now, this is what I want you to concentrate on. So here, there is no monthly fees, there's no selling, there's no talking, there's no recruiting. You will earn 60% every day. Every day. Okay? Later on in the call, like me, I'm going to show you how to tap into the 30%, because I rather earn 90% from that booster than 60%, right? It just makes sense. I don't like leaving money on the table. And obviously 10% goes to the company. Now, how does this work? You order your booster, it gets activated remotely, and you collect your Bitcoin daily. That's it. So how does this whole thing work? Let me show you in real time. So this is in Phuket. And as you can see from the size of his palm, it's quite a chunky device. And this is at a data center in Phuket. This is the corporate offices, as you can see. Very, very, I would say, high-tech building. It's called BTC. That's a Blockchain Technology Center. And I'm pleased to tell you that myself and 5 other South Africans will be going to this data center. We got Rosina on the call. We got Ed, we got Anthony, we got James Bond on the call, and myself. We will be leaving on the 9th of June to actually go to this data center and bring back a whole lot of information for you. As you can see, it comes with a crypto cafe. You can go in and you can buy your stuff with cryptocurrency. We have a special dining area for Bitcoin, those who pay for Bitcoin. It comes complete with the office where you can go in and learn about blockchain technology. This is the office space. Now, let me tell you what's my game plan. I was on a call with the co-founder. In fact, the 5 of us are going to be sitting with the co-founders. And we want one of those data centers to be open in South Africa. We have 5 of them already. We have them all over Phuket. We have 3 in India, Dallas, Texas, Los Angeles, but there's nothing in Africa. Now, I want you to understand, I'm going to go into a little bit of technical jargon, but I want you to understand the purpose of having this here. You see, they're mining on these farms in Kenya, Ethiopia, etc., and Ghana as well. Yes, Ghana is one of the countries, right? So when you have a data center within that continent, there's something called a ping rate is shorter. Let me explain that in layman's terms. If you have a Wi-Fi router in your house, the further you go away from that, the less strong the signal, right? So right now, these farms they're producing the Bitcoin, but the data centers are in a different continent. So they want this to be open in South Africa, and that is one of the reasons why we are going. So this project is something that the person who invited you here is very, very serious about. This isn't like anything that you've seen before. So let me show you how this works in real time. I'm just going to go back onto the YouTube channel, and I'm just going to go directly. As you can see, guys, nothing on this call is scripted. We're working directly from YouTube here.
Hey everyone, I am Professor Dr. Jeffrey. I have a PhD in FinTech. So I'm here in the Minorites Data Center. So today I'm going to explain and teach and prove that this technology actually works. So this is the Minorites Data Center.
I'm just going to pause this here, guys. I want you to have a look at this. Let this digest. Let this marinate in your mindset right now. Imagine if we have one of this in Durban, Johannesburg, Cape Town, maybe one in Zimbabwe, one in Ghana, depends whichever country you guys are tuning in from. This is what the data center looks like, and this is what it does. I'm just going to press play and let it play for the next 30 seconds.
So the first screen here basically is talking about where is it boosting. So if you can look right here, this is the Dallas, Texas Bitcoin farm. As you can see, there's a lot of yellow line going to it, meaning that there's a lot of different booster that is boosting this particular farm. So from different locations, they are actually having data center. Minorites is actually having data center to boost that farm.
And if we look over here, this is where the Phuket Minorex data center is. And we are actually boosting the campus site Laos farm. So guys, let's move on to.
So I'm just going to skip this and I'm going to show you exactly how this works. Pay attention to this video, this part of the video.
The Minorex data center right now. Okay, we have around 3,000 units of Minorex here. So every single booster right here, okay, is connected to this data center, the Russia Minorex data center, and also our right arm back office. Okay, so let me show you how it works. Okay, so every contract is linked to one particular devices only. So today, let's look at this. This contract, the serial number is 10033410, and it is right here. 103410 is right here. So if I plug it out, the first thing you will see that there's a removal of the 33410. So this data center has tracked, and it goes live. Okay, it goes live. Now this dongle 33410, it's disconnected. Look at the serial number 33410.
So that's what we're going to be going to Phuket. We're going to have a look at our devices, look at the serial numbers. I'm going to show you that. So let me just show you what difference the booster makes to an Antminer. So let's just say there's a mining farm in Kenya and they plug this into their system. This is the difference it's going to make, and this is how you are going to make money from it.
So all we gotta do right now is plug it in. Plug it in. So as you can see, it's accepted. 10033410 booster accepted. Antminer is doing at around 18. Not.
You can see that Antminer was doing around 13 to 14 terahash per second. Okay. After we plugged our booster in, it increased the terahash to 18, 19. That's almost 30% increase. So that 30% increase is what you are going to be earning, okay, in your wallets, because these companies are renting these devices, which we have access to. So the difference in here is what you are going to get paid. So let's show you how the pricing works. How do you actually rent this? So this is how it works. Now, when I looked at this, I looked at the affordability of it. First of all, one booster is $1,000, but because of the spend per capita around the world, we can have a shared contract of $100. What I mean by shared contract, that means 10 of this makes 1,000, right? So you now can come in with $100. It's all based on your affordability. I jumped on $1,000. If you can come on $1,000, that's fine. But let me show you your earning potential. So how does this work? You rent that booster and the contract expires when it makes 2.5 times the profit. That means once your booster gives you $250 worth of Bitcoin, your booster and your contract comes to an end. However, you can have multiple $100 boosters. Okay. Now, when you're on $1,000, it gives you $2,900 in return. That's when your contract comes to an end, and the rest is self-explanatory. Okay, so there's no monthly fees, there's no recruiting, there's no selling. You rent one of this out, and it gives you 2.5 times the return. Now, if you are from South Africa, let me explain to you the numbers. $100 is plus minus 1,800 Rand. With fees, let's just say 1,000. Let's call it 19, right? If you got 1,900 Rand, because I'm talking to your mind right now, because your mind is looking for every reason not to do this, right? Natural. Don't spend, don't spend, don't spend. So let's assume you have 1,900 Rand in your bank. If you have that in your bank, you are getting 6 Rand a month interest. 6 Rand. Go and do your homework. Ed is normally on this call. He is a banker and he's got the different banks, the different income. So for $1,000, if you got 19,000 Rand in the bank, it's going to give you around 60 Rand. Around 60 Rand a month. That's if you, that's a best interest rate at the moment. About 150 a year, that gives you around that amount. Now, in $1,000 package, from my experience, by the way, guys, today is exactly 2 months. I got started on the 19th of March to the 19th of May, exactly 2 months. And on $1,000 package, we're making around 3,500 Rand. So if you compare 60 Rand with 3,500 Rand and 6 Rand with 350 Rand, you can see that and guys, that's in Bitcoin. And when the Bitcoin price goes up, that 350 Rand that you're making a month now goes to 400 and 500 Rand a month. You understand what I'm saying, right? I just showed you where it's going. So that's basically the first part. Your first contract ends once it reaches $250, or if you're $1,000, $2,900. That's it. But you can have multiple. So now the next part is, Shane, I like that idea of the booster, and how do I get involved in terms of taking this to public? So for those of you on this call who doesn't like the idea of being on Zoom calls, you're very private people, you don't like to tell your friends and family how you're earning your Bitcoin, this part is over for you. Get in touch with the person who invited you to the call. I'll tell them, look, I need your link, and they will show you exactly how to rent your booster. Okay? And then tomorrow, after 24 hours, you will be basically earning your Bitcoin. But I want you to stick on this call because I want to show you my back office and what it's doing in live, how this works, right? So for those of you on this call who say, Shane, I like this idea because no way in Africa I can open up a business for $100. There's no way that I can have a business that I don't have expenses. And more importantly, the return I'm getting here is way more than what the bank is going to give me. And now that you're going to Thailand and to Phuket, I also want to go there and I also want to see this. And I'm going to show you how you can do that as well. If it took me basically a month to qualify, you guys can do the same thing. It's not difficult. It's just work. I'm going to show you how that works. So for those of you who want to stick around, I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So if you look here, it says members 5%. So let me look at who's on this call here. Let me call out some names. So I got Premier and we got Mrs. Bota, right? Mrs. Bota. I'm not sure if I know you. I'm just using you as an example. If Mrs. Bota says, Shane, you know what? I like this idea of this booster, and I can see jobs are getting difficult in South Africa, and for $100, maybe I can do this as a business. So every time Mrs. Bota shows any of her community and she builds a community around this, she will get 5% once off in Bitcoin. So in other words, if they take $100, she makes $5. So some of you are saying, yeah, but Shane, what is $5? I mean, but it's $5 worth of Bitcoin. And I showed you where Bitcoin is going in the next 5 years, $1.5 million, right? But here's the interesting part. If Mrs. Bota shows John, she makes 5% once off of John. But every day when John earns from his mine, Mrs. Bota will get 5% every day. Let that marinate. Let that really sink in, because for me, I'm like, what? You earn 5% of their Bitcoin every day. So let's show you how that works. I'm not going to go through, all the other stuff. I'm just here to give you all the important information. So let's show you how this works. So I hope you guys have your seatbelts fastened, because this is the most exciting part. Now, when I show you, this looks like, your back office is exactly what you're going to see. In fact, I'm just mirroring my phone to this here, and I'm just going to draw on my screen right now. So when I click on this here, you can see miner, okay? And it says 140,000. So what does that mean, guys? Very, very simple. We got access to 500,000 of these boosters. Okay, we've got agreements with mines that giving us access to boost 500 of the machines. Out of the 500,000, 140,000 is basically in stock or programmed. From the 140, the remaining stock is only 2%. Can you see that? So what we're showing you is not going to go on forever and ever and ever. We have a limited stock because there's a limited amount of Bitcoin mines out there. Am I making sense? So every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, they program 5,000 or 10,000 at a time until we reach 500,000. So this is like unlike anything you've seen before, where you can just think and say, oh, I'll come in next week or next month. If this reaches 500,000, that's it. No more boosters for you. Okay. Now, let's show you something else. How does this whole thing work? When you click order, you can see some of my boosters are here. I got started on the 19th of March. And as you can see, $1,000 package. And I made almost $3,000 from that in 2 months. Obviously, my results is different. I do not treat this as a hobby. I treat this like a business. I'm very, proactive. I do presentations, 5 presentations a day. Some of you do it maybe once a week. So your results are going to be different from mine. Then I took my profit. I bought another $1,000, couple $100, and obviously I bought for the family as well. So if you want to see how this works, guys, check this out. All you got to do is to just click on your booster. It shows you how much of watts in terms of power it's pulling. When you click the mining icon in the center, it will link directly to my booster in Phuket, and it'll show me my real-time hash rate. So if I'm at the data center right now, this will correspond with my phone. Okay? And when you click this here, this shows you how much of Bitcoin I've earned. Now, let me show you how this looks on your phone, because this is like really, really cool. Because some of you saying, Shane, but how do I take this to my family to see how this works and friends? Very simple, guys. I'm going to go onto mine. And when you click stats, this is what it looks like. You can see I've got 5 mines activated. And you can see my terahash is on the top, 363 terahash. Then it shows you your mining rewards. Okay. What I earned yesterday, this is a bit blur, but I'll show you on my screen now, $16 per day and the total amount of Bitcoin earned, right? So this is on my mobile phone. Now, what's interesting about that, when I'm in meetings, I normally leave this open like this here. And my colleagues ask me like, what, are you playing a game or something? I said, no, I'm actually mining Bitcoin while I'm talking to you. I say, you serious? How does it work? And then you just show them your returns. You click the center button here where it says order, the center button. Sorry, guys, this screen is inverted, right? Let me just read like this. You hit the center button, you click on your device, and you show them how you're mining Bitcoin. You hit the center button, exactly what I showed you, and you show them how you're mining your Bitcoin. So it's a very, very easy business to build, but you just have to keep at it. So that's basically how that works. Now, let's show you what I've done so far for the last 2 months, okay? I have showed this here to 50 people, and I brought in over $7,100 worth of business, and that has grown. So for those of you who are business minded on this call, some of you, although you work for a boss, but there's that voice inside of you saying that, hey, you know what, you're worth way more than what your boss is paying you, and you know that you can, you put on this earth not to just go to work 9 to 5. Now, when you look at a business idea, and me as a businessman, I look at, say, how is the market receiving this? Is there a market for this in South Africa or Africa? Now, if you look at your screen, I only showed this to 50 people, and that 50 has grown to 186 in 2 months. This is where you ask yourself, is this affordable? Yes. Is this doable? Yes. Is there a market for this? Yes, I've just proved it here. I've got numbers to prove it. And together, the team has brought in over $45,500 worth of business. So I did just under R1 million worth of business in 2 months, which is not bad. Okay. Now let's show you how I earn from them. All you got to do is when you click your total assets. By the way, for those of you who ask me, Shane, can you withdraw? I showed you I made over $3,000 and my balance is only $354 here, right? So I'm withdrawing all the time. You just click withdraw and you put in your Bitcoin wallet address and boom, in your account. But this is what's interesting. When you click on this, guys, hold on your seats. Yesterday's date was the 18th of May. As you can see, around 22:12 last night, Niren, I think Niren is on this call. I made 0.001117 BTC from him. 5% of all his mines I made. Okay. AS Projects, another 5%. Another, you can see the 5% here. 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%. The page 2, 5%. Now, guys, what will all of this Bitcoin be worth in the next 3 to 4 years? Not even 3 to 4, next 6 months. Can you see? This is $1 million sitting right here. This is on page 4, and I'm still showing you the referrals coming in. Okay. So it's a very lucrative business to do, because let's just say somebody doesn't like the recruiting side of it. They don't need you to say this to anybody. All they're going to do is to rent that, and it's making money for you. Remember, if you've got $100 or 1,900 in the bank, it's giving you 6 Rand. Here we average between 300 and 350 Rand a month. In your mind, like there's one person I showed this to, said, "Oh, it's slow, it's very slow, 300 Rand." I said, "And how much is the bank giving you?" And they refuse to acknowledge the bank is giving them 6 Rand. So this is all about perspective, okay? All about perspective. So here's the thing. I know I said a lot, but in the gist, $100 or $1,000, it all depends on your affordability. The person who invited you on the call is going to teach you how to link your phone to a booster sitting in a data mine. That's all. Don't worry about the technicals. That's the gist that you need to take away from this call. Okay? So you're going to get back to the person who invited you to this call. Now, in the chat there, I want you to type in "I'm in" or "I'm out." Because for us to get the data center in South Africa, they gave me a challenge. They told me, "Shane, we need 1,000 of those rentals out in South Africa." Okay? So that is why your friend invited you or your family invited you to the call, is because we want to get to 1,000 boosters so you can go to the data center yourself. Maybe it's going to be in Umhlanga, Sandton, or Cape Town waterfront. We don't know where. It all depends on infrastructure. You can go in there and look at your booster working in real time. Believe me, South Africa, you haven't seen anything as tangible as this. This is not pie in the sky money. This is a real brick and mortar type of business that we're inviting you on. So guys, I'm checking the "I'm in's" coming in. So we've got Sharon's is in, we've got Taryn, "I'm in." Welcome on board, Taryn. Then we got Sir Haywood, "I'm in." Wendy's in, Wayne is in, Charles, "I'm in." Dinah is in, Simo, "I'm in." Cool, guys. So all you got to do is to just get in touch with those people who invite you to the call. And remember, reach out to us, because when we're in Phuket, when we are with the co-founders, what we want to do is to give you a shout out. Let's just say we got Peniel Vilakazi on the call. I'm going to say, "Hey, Peniel, if Peniel Vilakazi showed you this video, he's working directly with us right here at the Phuket data center, and he's going to show you how to link your phone to one of this that's going to make you Bitcoin every day." Peniel, while I'm there, he's going to send the video to all his, his community, his friends and his family, to start earning Bitcoin. So we want to tap into, I can't bring in 1,000 people on my own, but we can as a team, right? So I want you to think of a YouTube channel, a subscriber. The more subscribers you get, the more money. Here, the more subscribers you get, the more money you make. This is called affiliate marketing. East Coast Radio does it all the time. Apple does it all the time. You go to all of these companies, even Luno. When you share the Luno app, they give you 200 Rand worth of Bitcoin. Basically, the whole world is moving towards affiliation process. So guys, thank you so much for making time on the call. For those of you who says you're in, welcome. For those of you who want to build, we've got a separate leadership to teach you exactly how to go about doing this. We want to lock arms with you. We want to say that if you take one step to us, we will take 10 steps to you, and make sure that you become a success and have at least 0.01 Bitcoin in the next 5 years. If you have 0.01 Bitcoin, that's millionaire status already done and dusted. Okay, so I just want to open up the floor for questions. How we are on time, guys? Well, 45 minutes, not bad. Do you have any questions? There's a chat at the bottom. As I said, make use of the chat. Or if you want me to unmute you, you can ask me questions. For those of you who want to leave, let me just end this.